Last of Us Part 2 was released in June 2020 and is a long-awaited sequel to The Last of Us, which was originally released on the PS3 in 2013. I've played the first few hours of the game and I'm going to share with you my first impressions. I hope this video will help you decide whether this is a game you should buy now, buy later, or buy never. The Last of Us Part 2 is an immersive single-player experience played in a third-person perspective. With no multiplayer mode available at launch, there is a lot of speculation as to if and when multiplayer will be available. However, considering The Last of Us had both a single-player story as well as multiplayer modes, we are expecting Last of Us Part 2 to follow the same formula. This game was developed by Naughty Dog, who, as you may know, developed other popular Sony exclusives such as the Uncharted series and Jak and Daxter. The Last of Us Part 2 tells the story of Joel and Ellie a few years after the events of the first game, where we find them happily settled in a survivor colony, Jacksonville. The world remains ravaged by the mutated strain of the cordyceps fungus, with multiple factions now appearing, following the downfall of the government military known as Fedra.
What do you do?
Without spoiling the story, there are some major events in the early game, so be prepared for this game to tug on your heartstrings and stir up some deep emotions. Following these events, the characters leave the safety of the town Jacksonville and venture forth to explore the overgrown city of Seattle and encounter many dangers there. When you start a new game, you have the choice to choose your difficulty, ranging from very light to survivor. If you are after a casual gaming experience, then pick very light. However, my recommendation for gamers who have played the previous game is to go for hard mode for the more challenging yet satisfying combat. A good thing with the difficulty setting is that it can always be changed at any time during your playthrough if you find it too easy or too difficult. The Last of Us was a game with decent depth and strategy to its combat, and The Last of Us Part 2 follows along the same lines, with the addition of some major combat game changes such as the addition of enemy dogs which can follow your scent trail. The AI is improved over the first game, with the enemies able to communicate more with each other. However, you can still manipulate their curiosity with well-thrown bricks or bottles, opening up opportunities for stun or grab a stealth kill. Combat has a nice, satisfying feel to it, especially when your reticle goes red on landing a headshot, or when you deliver a crushing, finishing melee attack on an enemy. With the limited ammo available, each shot must count, especially in hard mode and above. Utilizing stealth and completing stealth kills will help you to conserve your resources, and you will quickly discover that stealth becomes vital. Companions in the game are actually quite useful, and they will be able to take down enemies within range on their own. At times the combat becomes desperate as you struggle to fight off one after another enemy while managing your dwindling resources and ammo. It becomes a battle of efficiency as you try to fight off the enemies in the most cost-efficient way possible. Dodging becomes a vital part of face-to-face melee combat. As you learn the attack patterns of your enemies, you can quickly utilize dodge to allow counterattack and finish an enemy without using valuable ammo. The addition of horse riding and some semi-open world exploration rewards a keen explorer who ventures off the beaten path in search of treasures. For example, finding powerful guns or an additional weapon holster just makes it so much more worth your while. The graphics of The Last of Us Part 2 are well optimized for the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Running in 1080p at estimated 30 frames per second feels smooth on the PS4, with the occasional frame rate dipping to the mid-20s in high action scenes. However, it still remains playable during those times. The whole atmosphere and pacing of the game has been extremely well designed, slowing down the story with deep, meaningful cutscenes that really build upon the humanity of the characters and their relationships. In contrast, the game puts you in tense situations, being surrounded by the enemies, encouraging you to play with stealth and also forcing the player to plan a method of approach. The sound of music of The Last of Us Part 2 is a pure joy to listen to and further increases your immersion in the game. The beautiful environmental sounds, such as the sound of trickling water in a nearby stream, the harsh, powerful sound of gunfire, and to the terrifying gurgles and clicks of the infected, sound brilliant with a good speaker setup or headphones. A downside to such a detailed and graphically intensive game is to be prepared for longer load times, though especially when loading your save game from the main menu. Load times frequently went upwards of 75 seconds on regular PS4 when loading up some of the more open, explorable areas in Seattle. The Last of Us Part 2 story is expected to be about 30 hours long, which is actually almost double the length of the original Last of Us. You can expect to sink in a few more hours if you're like me and love to explore every nook and cranny of the world. It is a great sequel to the first game and has a nice balance between intense combat and deep, meaningful cutscenes and story progression. Plays really smooth and rewards player exploration.
Get your cover! Go! Go! You better run! You better run!
What you got there?
Music and sound design are excellent, and this further enhances the dramatic and intense moments of the game.
They're yours.
So is this a game worth a buy now, buy later, or buy never?
What do you think of this
My
view?
impressions of the first few hours of the game lead me to give this a solid buy now,
Nice.
and an initial rating of 5 out of 5.
Perks.
If you guys agree or disagree with me, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel for more gaming related content and reviews. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, peace out.
She needed her immunity. It means something.
That's so dumb.